delicious peanut butter chocolate chip pound cake.
Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for yoyomax12.
Hello everyone, starting off with the dry ingredients. That's 3 cups of all-purpose flour in that bowl. Adding to that 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Stir those things together until combined and then set that bowl aside. Now in a large mixing bowl, place 1/2 cup of butter at room temperature and 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. Blend those 2 things together until they are nicely creamed together. And then you're going to add 3 cups of white granulated sugar. And yes, that's a lot of sugar, but this makes 2 pound cakes. So keep that in mind. It's a very large batch. Cream those things together, and you may want to scrape down the sides of the bowl while you're at it. And then you'll blend in 6 large eggs. I added my eggs in one at a time, but you could put them all in at once if you'd like. And you can also stop to scrape down the sides of the bowl at least once during this process. Then add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Just make sure you slow your mixer down so it doesn't slop out onto your countertop. And as you can see, it's nice and smooth here. Now it's time to add in the dry ingredients that we prepared at the beginning. A little bit at a time until it's completely combined. And then you're going to stop your mixer and add in 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. I'm using semi-sweet, but you could use whatever you want. And you stir those in. Now you need to put this into a pan. Now I found that it's best to not overfill a bundt pan because this rises quite a bit. So I used 2 different bundt pans. I used a silicone one and a metal one that I had. And I divided the batter equally among the 2 of them. I also greased those pans very well before I started because you don't want your cake to stick. When you're done, pat down your mixture, spread it out evenly so that all the little crevices of the mold are filled and there's no air pockets. Bake at 325 for about an hour and 20 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. And then allow your cakes to cool. While your cakes are cooling, make your glaze. That is 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, adding to that 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, as well as 1/4 cup of milk and 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. And then I just whisked those things together until the glaze was smooth. And then finally, you're going to pour this over your cakes. Now I find it best to do this when the cakes are still warm, not hot, but warm. I just find the glaze flows better when it actually touches the cake. Now I actually made a double batch of glaze for this because I love this glaze so much, but you can use one single recipe and you should have enough to put a thin layer of glaze on 2 cakes with a single recipe. But this glaze is so good and I find that I really like it nice and thick on the cakes, so I doubled it. So I just spread it around on the cakes and then afterwards I sprinkled it with some additional chocolate chips. I use the miniature chocolate chips because I just think they look cuter. Also, what I think would be great on these would be some chopped up peanut butter cups. Would be really good with this. And then you just let your cake cool completely. That glaze will harden up a little bit. It'll get like a dry surface on it, so it's easy to transport and easy to slice up. And store this in a covered container, and you are good to go. I put 1 for serving, and I put 1 for the freezer for another day. And there they are. This glaze is really good and it goes so well with the cake. Now the cake itself is a delicious pound cake. Like a pound cake should be. It's nice and dense and moist, and the peanut butter and the chocolate flavors are wonderful. I think you will really like this one. If you enjoy pound cake, then why don't you check out this almond joy pound cake that I made a while ago. It is also very good, especially if you're a coconut and chocolate lover. Thanks so much for watching.